Explain Well. Exclusive to The Drive with Robin Ross.
And on Explain Well today, it is a Thursday and it is early February, which means we are getting a State of the Nation address tonight.
And I don't know if you noticed in the news that it is the State of the Nation address tonight.
I might have picked that up, yes. Can I read a tweet that I put up last year before this event?
Let's go.
It went like this. 5:52 in the afternoon. Oh, Minister, is that Gucci? 7 o'clock, procession. 7:01, point of order. 7:03, point of order. 7:06, point of order. 7:38, cops arrive. 6 minutes past 8, my fellow South Africans. And at 11:15, Bantu Holomisa talks to a news station. Because that's the way SONA goes every single time. Except this year, we might not have an hour's worth of points of order until the police arrive, because the EFF have said they're not going.
Yes, they're not going, and also they're not allowed to go. Some of the members, after what happened last year.
They'll argue they've decided not to go.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. But, we are still hoping that we'll hear something tonight, and that it will, from a news perspective, it's nice if things happen on time, because then you actually have something you can tell people.
Yeah. There's a headline in the Daily Maverick. It says, you may think about sitting out SONA 2024, don't. And I had a look, and there are 4 big issues that are worth mentioning that we need to listen out for tonight if you are going to pay attention to the President's address. If you're going to watch the Durban Super Kings versus the Joburg Super Giants, the game is on shortly. But we are expecting tonight a couple of things. The announcement of the new Transnet CEO, which is important because that is a huge hole of endless money consumption in this country. And we need, things like our railway lines to run well. These things are important. Mm-hmm. We need infrastructure. We need all of these things. Transnet is a huge part of South Africa en dit moet werk. So ons gaan uitvind later wie gaan in beheer wees. The other thing that we're going to get probably announced tonight is the election date for 2024.
They said yesterday that it's only going to be in March. So we'll see.
What, the announcement?
Yes.
So not tonight?
No. That's how I understand it. I might be wrong, but we also had this conversation yesterday in the newsroom.
I was fully expecting there to be an election date announcement tonight. The other 2 things that are big hot button issues at the moment is whether or not they're going to extend the unemployment grant that came in under COVID, because that expires in March next year. And if I were a politician in an election year, you know what I wouldn't do is take away people's money. So I'm assuming that one is going to roll over. And then the NHI. This thing we've been talking about, and we've heard all over the news, and are we going to be allowed to have medical aids, and what will this cover, and what will it not, and how much will it cost, and what about the hospitals, etc., etc. That's an endless conversation, but there will be some NHI news tonight as well. So there might be a couple of big things.
Yes,
amongst all the long-winded speechiness.
Of course.
But then there's all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, and we thought we'd explain, let's take a bit of a different angle, because it's a lot, right? There's a lot that we have to get used to. So who better to speak to than someone who's been in Parliament and who's done this for about 30 years. So we got hold of Pieter Mulder. He was with the Vryheidsfront Plus. He's seen about 30 State of the Nation addresses. So
I think the last time he was deployed to Parliament, he was Deputy Minister under Jacob Zuma. Forestry and Fisheries. That was about 2017. But yeah, he's been to literally almal van hulle was hy al daar gewees.
Ja. So een van die vrae wat mense nogal oor wonder is, wie skryf die toespraak? So dit is nie die president wat dit gaan skryf nie. Elke minister in 'n departement skryf 'n paragraafie en dit word dan nou gelees deur die president. Maar Pieter sê vir ons, back in the day, Mbeki was quite nervous to be Nelson Mandela's deputy. Want as Mandela begin het om die staatsrede te lees, he didn't really stick to the script all the time. So dit was nou tot groot vermaak van parlementslede.
Dan is vir my Mbeki doppe, want hy is die groot man agter die skerms wat eintlik maar Mandela se toesprake in goed beheer het in 'n groot mate. Mandela was briljant met die skakelwerk, maar hierdie goeie het oorgelaat aan Mbeki. En dan soos hulle gesê het, dan gaan die ou man van die notas af. En dan het ek altyd vir my Mbeki dopgehou om te sien hoe gespanne raak hy en sy nek raak styf, want hy weet nie of dit iets gaan wees wat 'n probleem kan maak al dan nie.
Yeah, going off script at something like SONA is it's you're making promises to the entire country that have to be followed through on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't afford to and we're going to have things
There
and
are a
then
lot,
not deliver.
And I mean, imagine Ramaphosa goes off script tonight. Anyways, so we've just spoken about this one new rule, right? You cannot raise points of order. You cannot speak while the president is speaking. You can't interrupt him. So we'll see how that's going to go tonight. But we also spoke to Peter about this, and we specifically focused on the EFF. So hy sê, in die parlement werk lede van die EFF saam met lede van die Vryheidsfront Plus en die DA. So hulle gaan saam kantoor toe.
Ja.
En hy het van sy staaltjies gedeel oor sy interactions met die EFF.
So ons kry mekaar in die huisbak. Dan vra ek hulle byvoorbeeld van die ander debatte, sê ek, jong, wie is julle sprekers vandag? Dan sê hulle niemand nie, want ons gaan vandag uitgegooi word. Want die kameras is hier uiteindelik en dan kan ek sien as ek sit het hulle papiertjies gereed. Niemand gaan praat nie. Hulle hou aan tot hulle uitgegooi word. En dan sê die jongetjies agter, ons het aksie en geweld nodig om die TV te haal. As jy terugkom die kantore, sien jy hulle sit almal voor die televisie en kyk hoe lyk die media dekking toe hulle uitgegooi is. Is dit goed of is dit sleg? En hulle glo dit tel vir baie punte buite hulle veg die regering.
Honestly, ruling a country is performance art.
Yeah, especially if you're the EFF. So it really is a strategy. So, there are a lot of people saying that maybe this wasn't the worst idea that we've seen in Parliament.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, these people are there to account. I get that the president has to get through his speech, but the speech has been emailed to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this person may not be questioned. Sit nie reg saam met my nie.
Dit is. En Pieter het juist gister ook vir ons gesê, it hinders the functionality. Want gewoonlik mag jy dit nie gesê het. Jy mag nie teen die president gepraat het nie, maar daar was juist onder parlementslede ontevredenheid hieroor.
Ja.
Alright, en dan net gou vinnige laaste ding. Onthou nou, die parlement het afgebrand in 2022, het word nie gebruik nie.
That is a true story. We're having a State of the Nation address and Parliament burnt down.
Yes.
We haven't built a new one yet.
Yes, and this is something that really doesn't sit well with Peter because he really loved the parliament and he could show you a lot of things. Here's what he said.
Die optog was in Parlementstraat. Kunstenaars wat opgetree het, mense wat gedans het in die weermag en dan die klere, almal trek nou mooi aan, tradisionele klere aan. So daar is so 'n opwindende atmosfeer half en as 3 bene van die staat word uitgebeeld by die opening. Baie van die goed kom nie tot sy reg in die stadsaal nie en dis vir my jammer uiteindelik. Ek dink mense verloor daai atmosfeer wat 'n bietjie 'n waardigheid en 'n statigheid dan gegee het.
Yeah. Parliament's a beautiful building. I really hope they do get it all sorted out and we can go back there at some
point. It was a
point.
beautiful building.
Yeah, precies. Well, there you go. State of the Nation Address 2024 is tonight. We will have all the details, jackarandfm.com. If you're not going to watch that, enjoy the cricket.